Hi, YouTube. I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker and also a professional tarot consultant. As you know, I've been really trying to be the Barbara Walters of YouTube. And so I've been reaching out to YouTubers, small and large. And I've got one that's pretty popular and really well known. And that's because she doesn't just do YouTube, she's also a writer. She creates, she's an amazing witch. And her name is Nadia, and you know her as Lady Jayne's Bewitchery. Nadia, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Now, let's talk a little bit. Before we get into all the nosy questions I ask people, I want to know about your book. Tell me about Essays from the Edge.
Yes, I've written for as long as I can remember, since I was really little. And so I always wanted to write, always intended on writing. I have completed fictional works sitting on the shelf that I was going to, eventually get up the guts to release. And one day, literally washing dishes, I'm gonna sound crazy, but we all know that just you hear this thing, it's like, you have to do this. And I'm like, no, I must be inhaling, the dish soap. It's just because it was totally not me. It's a non-fictional work, and it's a collection of essays. And it's a little bit difficult. People say, well, what niche is it? Or why is this worth writing? It's not entertaining. It's not informative. Well, I actually hope it's a little bit of both, even though it's not fiction or a manual, like that. And it is just essays, stories from in and around my life. And the concept of On the Edge, and I instantly saw the cover image that I wanted, which isn't going to happen, but it gave the feeling for the book. To me, life has always been on the edge and that's different from time to time. Sometimes, is it about taking a leap of faith? Is it just making sure that you can keep your balance? Is it, there are so many things that happen on the edge. Sometimes it's great faith, great feeling of power and being grounded, and and sometimes it's desperate, and sometimes it's who shoved me here. So there's a little bit of all of that in there. So that was supposed to come out quite a while ago. It's gone through some editing overhauls of content and cover, and hopefully will be out very, 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 very soon, finally. So.
Now, if somebody wants to find you so that they can watch for when this book is available, I'm assuming they should subscribe to your YouTube channel if they're, if they haven't, they're hiding under a rock. And how else can they find this book?
Well, I actually have two websites. I have like double duty on everything. And contrary to some inquiries that I got, I'm not trying to hide from the mass public that I'm spiritually oriented in a woohoo kind of way. It's just, some folks who are on, let's say, my Twitter account, that's my personal /writer one, just don't need to be inundated every time I make a new fragrance of incense that I want to promote. It's just, you don't want to spam people with everything. So I do have, you can reach me on Twitter under, I'm on there as Nadia R13. I'm under there as Lady Jayne's Bewitchery. I have a YouTube channel for both. I have a Facebook author page as well as a Facebook personal page, which is not so personal because there are over 3,000 people on it. Like, not at all personal. It's like Grand Central Station. Started back in the days before the like pages were really the thing. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I'm everywhere. And websites, of course.
Very cool. Now, while we're doing this, I just realized I left something up here. So why don't you talk about what's the first thing you remember about witches in general? And I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. Probably when I was really little, Bewitched reruns. That was probably my first thing. I'm sure there were witches and fairy tales and other books, as a really little kid, but the first thing that really stuck with me consciously as a witch per se was Bewitched. The old black and white Bewitched. That was it for me. She was, yeah.
Now, did you want to be Samantha, Endora, Sabrina, or Tabitha, or Uncle Arthur?
Well, probably Samantha. I kind of wanted to be and was feared being her also, because even as a little kid, I remember thinking, or maybe even resonating with a little bit too much, even at that age, how they really are. and worrying what people are going to think. And it wasn't always, at that time, it wasn't consciously in the witchy sense, just that feeling and life experience of hiding side. And she obviously went through that constantly. But by the same token, she rocked. I mean, she could do everything. She could be mundane, perfect housewife and cook and great mom, and she was witch and dealt with cuckoo relatives. Yeah, I totally related.
And that crazy was who did her name is Alice Ghostly, I think, and I can't remember who she played on there, but she was she was Clara, maybe Aunt Clara.
Yes, I think so. That sounds right.
I'm Aunt Clara now. I'm always like, I'm so confused sometimes, and my husband's like, okay, let's reorient. Now y'all see that I'm waving some stuff in my hand. This woman is known for her incense, and I want to show you a couple. Some of them may not have as many sticks in them as they did as when I got them. I don't know how that happens, but this is called New Moon, and it is, think of the best soap. Like, do you remember, is it Camay?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I get from this, y'all. But she makes these incenses, and she doesn't make just, she makes like margarita or midnight margarita is one. But I've got Good Fortune. Do I smell mint in Good Fortune?
Maybe a little.
Yeah, there's something in there but that's Good Fortune. And then, oh my goddess. The goddess is there's something sexual about it. I don't know what I can tell you, but there's something sexual about this scent. Right? And they come really well packaged. And these are her samples, right? She sent me some samples, so you're going to get more. And then full moon, you can smell the new moon, but it's like more. I mean, I guess it's a full moon, but that's the full moon. And it's real simple, right? Just simple, but right on the label. I have some Beltane incense. Excuse me, I need to go find my husband. But yeah, and then we have wisdom. Oh, love. Oh my God. There's got to be clove in there. There's got to be a little hint of clove, I think. And love. And I'll just keep smelling them. Y'all are like, Arwen, we can't smell this shit. But there's. So talk to me about your product. Tell me what this is. It says full moon. And I've got loose incense. There's a little bottle. There's a candle. There's looks like a piece of calcite, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's moonstone. I don't know. I haven't opened it. So talk to me about this as I dig into this.
Well, what you're holding right there is one of my full moon kits. And I have new moon kits and full moon kits because I refuse to choose. People always say, which do you like better, new moon or full moon? I'm like, yes. Yes. And so I started making ritual kits for them, and they do come with a candle. They come with a votive, which is oil infused. Like all my candles are oil infused. You get an herbal blend that aligns with full moon energies. You get crystals that go with the same energy, energy suite, so to speak, energy ensemble for the full moon. Some of the short incense sticks, which
this is what the so do y'all see this? I have to talk so y'all can see it, but they're little joss sticks.
Yeah, those I don't sell separately. Those are just for in my kit so that they're easy enough to package, and they're also perfect size just for ritual as opposed to atmosphere, which you want to go longer. And so everything you need in there for a full moon ritual is right there, and they're available to purchase individually. And I also have a membership so that if you want to make sure that every month you're signed up, you're going to get a full moon or a new moon, or you can get a combo thing, a full moon and new moon come to you every month. I got my moons covered. I don't need to sweat it. No 11:15 p.m. scramble.
Now, talk to me about this. This is a little bitty jar. This is a little bitty of oil. Is this a full moon oil, right?
Yes, that's full moon oil, and in the new moon one you get some new moon oil also. The candle has oil infused in it, but that's if you want to wear it, if you want to anoint anything that you're working with. So I just send a little bit of the oil.
Very cool. And now the herbs, are these for burning? Are these for making into a drink? Are these for using in spell work?
They can be used. They can be used either as an offering to, if you want to roll your candle. Some people, even though there's oil in it, they like to add a little extra to it. You know, if you're going to carve it, if you're going to whatever, a dab of oil, whether it's the full moon oil or olive oil or whatever, and then you can roll it in it. You can sprinkle it around. You can put it in an emoja bag that you make then as a pinch of full moon magic to give it a kick. It's just a full moon herb blend. It is not intended for, it's not necessarily toxic, but it is not intended for consumption.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this, y'all, this is like the perfect size, because one of the things I'm really bad about is that I love oils. Right now I'm into diffusing oil. So I have my diffusers actually going out. If you can see the smoke over here. But I love oil in it. But this, I'm not going to worry about, oh, okay, I used it for that full moon. Where the hell did I put it? Because y'all can tell I'm the most organized girl in the world. And I love this. And then once it's done, I can repurpose this. I can maybe make a travel diffuser oil for me for when I travel. Did you know they have diffusers for your cars now?
Yes, they do. There's like a little absorbent pad that you replace every now and then. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, this one actually plugs in and blows smoke. I was like, I need that. I could just see myself getting stopped by a cop and they're going, okay, you're going to need to step out of the car. And we need to bring the dogs in. Yeah, so this is the full moon kit. Let me put it back together, y'all. Otherwise I will. And this, I love this. It's like a worry stone.
Yes.
But it looks like calcite to me. Do you know?
That's selenite.
Selenite. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't see the strata very well, but let me put it back together, and then we're going to look at a basket. I have Tisket a Tasket, an orange basket. I was going to say a green and yellow, but that wouldn't have really worked. So y'all stop mocking me. But I adore. Oh, and let's talk about this right now. What do I have here? This beautiful. Y'all see the? You see the sparkles on it? What is this, ma'am?
That is a Beltane candle. Years ago, I used to sell glass candles, and then just space made it a little bit much. But my private clients, like who've been with me for a while, they'll custom order it. And then I finally decided special occasions like Beltane, I will bring them back. And so the candle is fully dressed with a little bit of very finely powdered herb, so it doesn't really combust when you light it, and oil, and of course some sparkle, and the ribbons are on the outside, so it's safe, but still be careful. And it's a Beltane glass candle that you can light. Then that one I love because it looks so maypole-ish to me.
That's what I was just thinking. If I was going to be dancing the maypole, I think I would take these and weave them into my ribbon to do in the maypole, and then take them out as charge.
Yep.
Now let's look at my little basket. It's a recyclable. Thank you. But I'm going to open this now. Y'all do not know how hard it has been not to get into this shit. But I thought if I get into it, I'm not going to be able to repack it the way Nadia repacked it. So let's see what we've got here. And what am I opening?
That is the Beltane ritual kit. I do sell Sabbath kits also. And it doesn't come with a ritual like say this or anything like that. It's just the products and supplies you would need to create your own experience. And it has all the right energies in it. And those are available also individually. Actually, I think I have to update the site to make the page go live, but yeah.
Good. Sorry, y'all. I'm stepping away while she's talking.
So yeah, it's everything you need to create your ritual experience for Beltane.
So let's look. We have a chevron amethyst, and is it a jasper? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a jasper. A chevron and a jasper. We have more of the little bitty ritual size incense. And I love these because I have a new Ganesh, and he is actually, he has a place for the small incense, and the big ones, like I tried to shove one of yours in there and it just didn't work. Wow, Arwen, try to think about how you phrase things. I tried to place one of your incense sticks.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like we've got more herbal blend. Oh, wait. I don't know if I'm going to tell people about this little extra that I just saw in there, because that's kind of cool. I want folks to discover that for themselves. So without giving away the secret that I saw here, tell me about this blend.
Without giving away the secret, that's a little hard. It's a special herbal blend for Beltane. I don't know what to say without giving it away, but yeah.
Y'all, there's something else in the there's something else hidden in the blend. Now, could somebody burn this, or would you just use it again for herbal, like you for the other?
All of the herbal blends that I send can be burned. You know, sometimes when I specifically sell something that's herbal as specifically for incense, it's ground more finely into more of a, at least close to powder, so that it burns easier and no flames, hopefully. With these herbal blends, you definitely can burn them. Again, I never put anything in that's toxic unless there's a huge warning label on it, and it's usually for purposes I don't generally sell to the public for. So,
right.
So anything that anybody's getting in a ritual kit, it is safe to burn. The smoke is not going to knock you out or anything like that. It's all good.
Now, and you also have
Yes.
male and female.
Yes, indeed. Well, what would Beltane be without that?
Right, and very distinctive smells. They don't smell alike, and they've been sitting next to each other, y'all. So that's big. I've picked up some stuff where everything smelled like the same thing.
Yes.
So let me get all of these back in here. This is awesome. Now, somebody can subscribe to your sabbats, or do they just get them?
Yes. Right now, like I said, I've made the pages, and when we're finished here is when I'm going to click, you know, to make it go live on the site. I've kind of been waiting a little bit. So yes, you can buy Sabbat kits individually, and you can also subscribe to a Sabbat subscription service where basically you sign up and PayPal sends you an invoice at the right time. It's really convenient, really simple and safe, and you get your ritual kit 2 weeks before the Sabbath. So you know it's all in your hands, you know you're prepared, and you also have some time to look over it and make your plans for how you think you want to use it. You have some time to get inspired and connect with it.
Now, let me ask, is the candle an add-on? Does it come with the kit, the big candle I made? This one?
Oh, the big candle I'm selling separately.
Okay.
Yeah,
if somebody wanted to like upgrade and say, you know, I'd like to have the candle too, would that be something they could easily do, or if I just added more work for you?
It's actually really a great idea, and a lot of people do that, especially with the Beltane one. I mean, personally, I'm going to have the big glass one myself and the two votives in front, very much like male and female at the maypole kind of a thing. So you can definitely either upgrade your kit or add it on. Just message me, you know, for like an upgrade of it. If you prefer the glass instead of the votives, just message me. But you can, they'll both be available.
Awesome. Yeah, because I'd like all three, I think. So this is an awesome thing. I've been seeing a lot of people doing kits and monthly stuff, and I'm so fascinated by it. I would subscribe to everybody, but then I'd have to do a lot more readings.
Right.
or contact everybody going, if I do a reading for you every Sabbath, so can we do this? Because I'm all about the barter, baby.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you a couple of my other questions. I've used up a lot of our time, but I want to get some more of these questions because people love hearing this stuff. Now, I usually ask green sauce or red sauce. Is that a question that makes sense in your food habits?
Yes, it does. I live in California, so it definitely does. My answer to that would be both. Different things, different times, but definitely both. Can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, I tell people it depends sometimes on the restaurant, because some restaurants have a better mole than they do a tomatillo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not going to waste my time eating food I don't like.
That's right.
I'm a big girl. I like to eat food, but I want to eat good food.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you ever done a working that backfired?
Backfired? No. Come out differently than anticipated? Definitely yes. And I think that happens a lot, because I think when we need something or want something, I think we do a working and we figure that we have a good idea of how it can unfold, how it can manifest. And, I have these bills, so I have to make X amount of sales because that's the logical way to make the money. And that's awesome. But if you, let's say, for example, only do this, I've learned over time, if you only do working to increase sales, that's awesome. But if that's kind of limiting how something can come to you. So I think our perception is very limited. I mean, it's human, but we have expectations, what we assume. It's really assumptions, how we assume something's going to unfold. And so we sometimes cast in that direction. Or sometimes when we cast for just what we need or want, how it happens is just like, whoa, so I found this money on the floor and it wasn't sales. I'm still cool, like, so things can happen and it can be unexpected, but yeah.
Yeah. And I've learned, particularly with money spells, if I have a specific amount in my mind and I say I need $5,000 this month, just off the top of my head. Well, that's awesome, Arwen. But what if the universe wanted you to have 10,000?
Right. Exactly.
So what you need to think about, what I need to think about is, I do a spell working where I say, okay, this is my base amount, plus is good.
Exactly. And I've also learned to say, we don't know what's going to come up. And I've had, and maybe that falls more into the, it doesn't work out well. I've gotten the amount I've asked for, maybe even a bit more, but then some unexpected expense that could not be delayed pops up that is going to put you even further behind than you started. So it's this much or more, and definitely enough to take care of anything that I need and require. You have to leave yourself open enough to receive. You can't order pizza and keep the door closed or open it, just with the chain on. You're not going to get what you need.
That's awesome. Where's my pizza?
Right.
That is one of the best explanations I've ever heard of that concept. So I may have to abscond with it and use it again. Now, is there an afterlife in your belief system?
Yes, absolutely. And I say that there definitely is. And it's not so much that I have a clear idea, if we could even be clear about what is to come next, but as somebody who has met people and even been places that are so familiar and that I have previously dreamt about, and can stand there and say, okay, I've seen this place in a dream. I've heard this person's voice, and recognize souls and experiences and energies. I know I've been here before. So those lives had an afterlife. Yeah. So to me, it kind of works along with that belief and experience.
Perfect. I like that. Now, I usually ask people what brought them to the craft, but I'm pretty sure we covered that in our last chat. Nadia and I have chatted before, like Joey Morris and I, we've had more than one chat. So I'm not going to ask you what brought you to the path, but what brought you to the path of wanting to sell things?
Okay. Well, I could blame an astrological aspect in my chart for only really, which I'm philosophically against doing, but it is there, that I really only do really well with things that I'm passionate about, that I'm emotionally triggered to do. The have to is awesome for my responsible Capricorn aspect, but to really rock it and to not have to switch gears on things, it has to be something I'm passionate about. So here were things we were using at home. I had started making our own products I love to cook. I've always loved to blend things, but also my kids are fragrance sensitive and they couldn't use a lot of the synthetics, which rules out a lot of even metaphysical oils and magical oils that are out there, because sometimes there's that essence that you can mix in with essentials and it's fine magically, but if you're allergic physically, you're kind of screwed. So, yeah. So I started formulating using only essential oils and using essential oils and adding some things to it, all natural basically, to be able to use them. And then I'm like, okay, and then family schedules, and so it's really hard to be everywhere, meaning out of the house at certain times. And so let me try to make this and sell it from home. And I guess it kind of got a little push because some friends had come over and liked how something smelled in the house, whether it was incense or a candle, or asked me, you know, if I could make something up for them, and they really liked it. So I kind of had it in my head. Oh, I started giving them as gifts first. Yeah. You know, and then I kind of realized, okay, well, I need something that is home based. This is all here, and I love doing it. I really love making it, and I also love it when not just people say, yay, this smells good. That's awesome. I love hearing that you love how incense smells, but also when people say, okay, this really helped. Maybe it's an empathy thing of knowing how much relief there is when you've been in some kind of situation that really needed to change, and something was even the tool. Even if it was placebo effect, which I know my stuff is not, it's got the real kick, but even whatever was the catalyst for somebody to be able to get from where it didn't feel great to where they now feel better and are doing better, it's a privilege, and it totally rocks my heart. So there you go.
And you've got some new things coming up for us too. You've got some new irons in the fire. Tell me about those.
Okay. Well, let's see. Because Beltane is something that is a day I really, really love for many, many reasons. And writing is something that is probably my deepest passion. The art of blogging seems to have kind of quieted down, which I hadn't realized. I still read a bunch of blogs, but so many people who I used to read seem to have gone poof. So I'm doing a very small, very, very small Beltane blog hop, which I will be sharing on Facebook and all this. I have some cool authors and people in like spiritual magic orientation, but not the usual suspects, doing a little mini blog hop with me. So that's coming up. There are new incense fragrances coming out. So that should be something that'll probably be after Beltane. That's more of a, late May going into June, there'll be new incense. I'm adding more to the membership concept, to the subscription concept. We have the moon ones, we have the Sabbath ones, but also one of my most popular things is what's called on my site, Nadia's Intuitive Gifts. A lot of times people will say, I want stuff, or I want to give a gift of magical stuff. I don't know what to send. So I had started out by creating just what I was intuitively called to package for you. And it comes in 3 sizes. And some folks like it so much they subscribe and they get it every month. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't do like a monthly theme like these other folks do, which are really awesome, that everybody gets the same box. If you subscribe to that, you get what I've intuitively chosen for you that month. And there's a video series that now that computers are rearranged in my home, I can finish editing and get back up. It's called the ABCs of Spirituality, and that's going to be a new video series. It's coming up on the Lady Jayne's Bewitchery channel. That sounds like a lot of fun. And y'all, I'll put links for all of this down in the drop down. So there's already, there's so much. She's like this multifaceted person. And it's one of the reasons I love interviewing witches on YouTube, because y'all lead really interesting lives. It's deserted island time. Okay. You get to pick 5 and only 5 magical tools. What do you take? Wow. Okay. I don't know if pen and paper is 1 or 2, even if it counts. It's 1. Okay, that's good. Okay, so my writing gear, we'll call it that way. What do I take? I'm starting to get all MacGyver in my head. Well, what would I need to take, and what could I make do with there and not have to take and make better choices here? You do MacGyver time. I could burn things in sand. I don't need a cauldron, Let's see. I would take candles. I mean, they may not last long, but I would definitely take, I have one that I don't sell. It's really, really huge. And I love it. I burn it. It's actually my Transcendence scent candle that,
which I love.
yeah, it's really something. I use it for meditation. I have it going anytime I do ritual. It just really, I'm going to say it makes me feel safe. Not like I don't feel safe walking into it, but you feel like you're in a non-armored but comfortable protective space. I don't know. It sets the mood. So I would definitely take that. Let's see what else. I have a really large garnet, which is my birthstone, and that I just love, and it just does so much when you're friends with it. I would definitely take that. I would take some incense, like hello. Definitely take some incense. And well, I'm not sure if there's gonna be anything there to light anything with, so I should probably say matches. I don't know.
I like it.
Not too exciting, but practical.
Now, I'm going to skip the incense question because we know you're a powdered and a rolled girl.
Yes.
How do you intentionally honor or care for your deity? If you can talk to it. Some people can't talk about it.
I can in some ways. I definitely do rituals that honor pretty regularly. You know, there's always something on full moon, there's always something on new moon. Sometimes, other times, there's just a hi, I'm so glad you're here kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but because, I mean, seriously, the way I look at it is if we had a friend who only called us when they needed something, I don't know, I'd get pretty burned out and not want to answer the phone. So I think just saying, hey, I'm really glad you're part of my world, you know, gratitude-wise and honoring is a big thing. So I do honoring work like that, even if it's just briefly with a small candle made for her, whatever. But truly the thing that's the biggest honoring her is I listen. I listen. And that might sound, I don't know, odd or new agey or vague, but I listen. We go in front of our altars, we go and, you know, converse with whoever we're working with, and we ask for not just stuff, but to be protected, to whatever. And there's stuff we have to do for that. Yeah. And so we're constantly being shown signs. We're being reminded of what we know inside from the past. And ever flubbed up in my life, I haven't listened.
It's like that joke about the guy on the roof, the floodwaters are rising, and he's praying to God to save him. Yeah. And a guy on a raft comes by and he says, "Hop on, man, we can get to shore." He says, no, I'm praying to God. God's going to save me. And then a boat comes by, a helicopter comes by, and eventually the dude drowns. And he gets to heaven and he gets to talk to God, and he says, "What happened?" And God said, "Did you not see the raft, the boat, the helicopter? I tried."
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and sometimes it's something just about remembering who you are. Something ridiculous can come up. Somebody can be a real idiotic troll on the internet, and your first response is, I mean, I got a sharp mouth. You don't want me to cut you. You know, my first response is, you know, something maybe, it's not about not being nice, but being offensive in a protective manner. Like, are you kidding me? Get off my page, but in a sharper way than that. And listening for me is remembering who I am. Yeah. And I mean, it's no real secret. I work with Lilith. So being authentic to who you are is a very empowering thing. And it doesn't mean you have to be aggressive. It doesn't mean you have to be caustic or nasty or anything like that. So just remembering my own standards and listening to the reminders.
Very good. Now, let me ask you the kitchen question. Pick 3 herbs or seasonings, minerals, whatever, that you use in the kitchen and you use equally in your altar room. What are your top 3 for that?
Basil, definitely basil, both, cinnamon, definitely, and I'm trying to pick between black pepper and cayenne pepper. I'm going to go with black pepper. Yeah.
Very good. I'm a big pepper and salt. Those are my, like, pepper, salt, and cinnamon would be my. Sometimes I'll switch cinnamon with garlic because I love some garlic.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, garlic and pepper are fairly similar in how I use them. So
Yeah.
I'd want cinnamon for that extra. Now, what do you do for self-care? What's, when you need to just, how do you do that?
I don't do it often enough that I have a really great answer for you. I write.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for anybody else. I just write. It makes things clearer, which to me makes me calmer. Because I've always said if you can't put it into words, then it's not clear enough in you that you even know what you're dealing with or reacting to. So, and for me, the best way to put things in words is pen to paper. I can do that much easier than getting it out of my mouth, even talking to myself. So writing for me would be my biggest self-care thing.
That's a good one. I have to write when I've got something really tangled up that I'm really emotional about. If I write, I just let myself write and don't edit, don't worry, don't censor.
Yes.
By the time I get to the end, I'm like, oh, that's what's really bothering me.
Yeah.
You're off the hook. You may leave. That kind of thing. Now, name something that name something always makes you cough. No. Name something that always brings you joy.
Three things pop to mind. The first one was going to be writing again because it feels good. For me, it feels good. For me, I can't not write. Which is why when I was in the beginning process of this book and somebody's like, why write this book? It's not going to make money. I'm like, I have to. You don't understand. So I'm going to say that. I mean, coffee's a close second. Really close. And I don't know if I can write so well without the coffee, so maybe it's included. But no, writing. Definitely writing.
Okay, very good. Now, black coffee, cream and sugar?
Just a little bit of vanilla soy milk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite meal?
Ooh. Wow. Pasta.
Ooh.
Yeah, pasta. We've cut back on, we've switched dietary stuff for health reasons and other reasons. And, so certain non-gluten pastas are fine, but, really nice plate of pasta.
Yeah, I'm
thinking about. Yeah.
That's one of my comfort meals. Tuna.
Yeah.
And then just basic noodles with basic red sauce. I mean, I will go get, not ragu. I'm not a ragu fan, but I'll just go get Prego and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, ghost story time. We're almost done. How did that happen?
I know.
Oh, we have been talking for almost 40 minutes. I didn't even realize that. It feels like 2. But can you share a ghost story with us? Good ghost story, bad ghost story?
Ooh, yes. I have a bunch. I have a bunch, actually, to the point that probably after this book, that's probably the next one. Yeah, because some of them are really, I might present it as fiction, so you won't know which ones were mine and which one not. And that's mostly some of my great-grandmother, who is a ghost at this point, doesn't kick my ass.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you could tell anyone that. But yeah, so there are a bunch. But the first one that I can really, really remember, and actually got punished for as a little child. We lived on a farm in Virginia. It was an old farmhouse, and my parents walked into my room or something. I was very little, and like 4 or 5, like that. And they asked me who I was talking to. And I said, the ladies over there in the corner, they're having tea. And so they're like, you can't have imaginary friends. My father was very big into fiction is a lie, and acting is a lie, and imaginary friends, of course, is a lie. So yeah, he was a barrel of fun. Anyway.
And an air sign, right?
Yes, actually. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So he was like, no, it's, not true. And one of the places we went regularly was a local library in Charlotte Courthouse, Virginia, which was a historical building and all this. And anyway, my mother took me in there and she sat me down. You can't get a book today. And the head librarian, who loved how much I loved to read, asked why not. So my mom said, well, she's being punished because she lied. And she goes, what'd you lie about? Because that wasn't like me. And so my mother told her the story, and she's like, wait a second. She goes, you live in this house on this road, and, you know, it's in the middle of Virginia, like way past, you know, when you're further south than Richmond and nobody really knows the name of the town and you're on a dirt road like that. That's where our farm was. And she's like, but you know, I forget what the family name was. I think it was Colson, but you know, their old place. Yeah. She goes, oh yeah, that used to be like, you know, a tea house, like back in the day when it was more of a town there.
Oh, wow.
And so yes, it was. She goes, so yeah, she probably really was seeing the ladies, you know. She goes, we'll describe their outfits. And so I told her. And, you know, of course, to my father, I must have heard it from somebody that it was in my head. I must have seen a picture to know what ladies, but the outfits I described were from the time period that it had been a town when it was like a tea house. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Well, that's very cool. So you've been doing this for a long time.
Oh, yeah. It's not the most peaceful thing, but it's really kind of cool.
I would agree with you. I have, and what I find most annoying as a psychic medium, and this is going to sound, I don't know, weird, but it's going into an old home when I'm just visiting people, and getting the psychic knocks like, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. Sometimes ghosts are like toddlers because nobody talks to them.
They have no sense of boundaries.
Right?
No sense of boundaries. I am in the shower, like, hello, you know, and
right.
And at a friend's wedding, and there's a past parent who's standing there really complaining about who they're marrying, and you know you're probably the only one who can hear them. Yeah, not fun times.
Right? You just, because when you go, shut up, people are, who are you talking to? This does not concern you.
It's an open bar at the reception.
Right? Go get a drink and get me 5, because I'm going to need that to tune these people out. So the last question, and I'm looking to see, we actually hit all the questions. I skimmed some of them because I know you. But what is your best advice to someone starting out on this path?
I know it has been said before because I've heard some awesome, very wise folks say it in these interviews with you. And a lot of us say it in different contexts in our own videos. But I'll extend it because I ramble. Be yourself, and be yourself your own way. And by that, I mean, it seems to be the new wave of things, and not just in the magic-y community. It's whether it's self-help or just feeling peaceful or whatever, people tell you how to be you.
Yeah.
Well, that's not being you, folks. You know, some things calm somebody down. Maybe petting a snake calms this person down, and me would totally freak out. Like, you know, you really have to be you in your way. And that does not mean that you're being egotistical or narcissistic or a know-it-all. You just know you know what does it for you. And it doesn't mean, and also give yourself the kind of the gift of realizing that you and what you need, and who you are, what resonates with you, who resonates with you, what resonates with you, how you want to practice, maybe even what you want to eat. And I don't just mean like on a daily thing, but like today I'm vegan, tomorrow I'm not, or vice versa, is going to shift because you're going to change. We're always changing. If we're not making sure to propel it forward, we are slipping back, even if we don't notice it or want to acknowledge. So be you and be, you know, read a lot, watch a lot of people, be inspired, gather information, trial and error of what works for you in magic and creating things and anything, cooking, anything you want, and find out what works for you and allow yourself to do.
I said that is such a good way of saying it. Be you and be your real you. Because, you know, when I was first starting out in the path, I wanted to be Starhawk. I wanted to be Margot Adler. I wanted to be Selena Fox. Those were my heroines in the craft when I first stepped into this. And it took me a little bit to realize, you know what, Arwen? You're a really crappy Selena Fox, but you're a pretty awesome Arwen.
Yeah.
You know, and embracing that is good. That's a beautiful thing to say. Now, when I say goodbye to folks, I always say seek joy, y'all. What is your way of saying goodbye?
Well, when I'm not finishing a video because the cat ran by and I'm going, crap, my cat, you know, when that's not how the video ends. It's usually take care and be kind to everyone else.
Beautiful. And I'll say seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.